Last time we talked about the Stargate ship models, there were only 3 available. We looked at the Goa'uld Death Glider and the Mothership. A lot's happened since then, and there are more models available, but also Eaglemoss has gone out of business since that last video. So we're going to take a look at what Master Replicas is doing now to step in, fill the gap, start producing those models again, and then keep making new ones. It's an exciting time for Stargate collectors. I'm going to show you everything that's available so far. We'll take a look at what's coming up here in 2024. And we've got an exclusive sneak preview at a model that's coming up next. Let's take a look. Let me say up front, this is not a formal review, but I am going to tell you what I think about these models. Eaglemoss did send the Death Glider and the Mothership for review, but all the others I purchased with my own money. My opinions are my own, this video isn't sponsored, and actually that company doesn't even exist anymore. As of spring 2024, there are 5 ships out, so let's recap them in order before we look at what's coming up. Number 1, the Daedalus. This was a great pick for the debut model in the new line. The Daedalus is Earth's premier deep space carrier, commanded by Colonel Stephen Caldwell, and assigned to support Atlantis and maintain a supply line between Earth and the Pegasus Galaxy. The Daedalus model from Eaglemoss really is a thing of beauty. These first hit the market at the end of 2021, and they sold out pretty much immediately. At this point, Eaglemoss was in the middle of its financial straits and would eventually go bankrupt, so they didn't make any more. Suddenly, the Daedalus became hard to find, and eBay prices shot up over $200 a piece. Fortunately, since taking over, Master Replicas met the demand by putting this ship back into production, which is how I got mine. Honestly, it's even better than I expected. The die-cast metal parts give it a real weight, and the design and the paint job look screen accurate. I'm really impressed with this thing. This is a beautiful ship. Let's give it 5 out of 5 chevrons. The second ship to be released by Eaglemoss was the Goa'uld Mothership. This was the first ship that I got my hands on. The Hatak class Mothership is also a very well executed model, with a look that is distinctively Stargate. Check out that gold pyramid. It's also made of die-cast metal and plastic parts, and because of its design, it's mostly hollow between the pyramid and this outer plastic superstructure. So I'd say on the whole it feels more fragile than the Daedalus, but to be completely honest, I have dropped this thing from a high shelf onto a carpeted floor, and it survived the fall just fine. 5 out of 5 chevrons. Now, the third ship was ultimately going to be the last one that Eaglemoss released before going out of business. The Death Glider is, of course, the Goa'uld's fighter craft, built for speed and intimidation. From the original feature film through Stargate SG-1, we saw plenty of Death Glider action in space and in atmosphere. This model is executed well enough, but I admit it's not my favorite. Maybe that's because the model is the same size as the capital ships, so it feels oversized. It's also somewhat lacking in detail, as evidenced, for example, by this pretty plain-looking plastic canopy. It looks like a smaller design just got blown up a little too big. The stand is also not designed to hold it very well, so I've found that the slightest bump will knock my glider out. Let's give it 3 out of 5 chevrons. Now let's look at the F302. Soon after Master Replicas stepped in and started selling off Eaglemoss's remainder stock, we got word that Eaglemoss had finished its next Stargate model before going out of business. So some brilliant person opened up a box in a warehouse and found the F302 Fighter Interceptor, and a great cheer was heard across Stargate fandom. I couldn't wait to get my hands on this, so I ordered it right away, and then after it arrived, I let it sit unopened in a box in my office because I wanted to make a proper video about it. So let's do it now. This is beautiful. Eaglemoss hit a home run with the 302, which of course is a very important ship in Stargate's mythology. It was developed using alien tech recovered through the Stargate program, and by Season 7 became a cornerstone of Earth's defense program. Much like its capital ship, the Daedalus, the F302 model is incredibly well designed and manufactured. You can feel the metal parts here, giving it a perfect weight and balance. The paint job is detailed and accurate, and it even has these cool little rockets under the wings ready to fire. So this is hands down my favorite Stargate model so far. Like the Death Glider, the canopy is pretty simple, not overly detailed, but on the F-302, it's about a third of the size, so it just looks better here. I'm giving the F-302 the rare 6 out of 5 chevrons. Ship number 5 is the newest model to arrive in the post as of the making of this video, the Prometheus. So Master Replicas not only inherited Eaglemoss's remainder stock, they also got their plans for what was next. Prometheus was on the drawing board, and now it was time to push it across the finish line. On the show, this is the more clunky and inelegant predecessor to the Daedalus. It was built underground in secret by the US military, and didn't even have a working hyperdrive for a while. Essentially, they built the thing hoping that they could figure out how to make a Naquadria-powered hyperdrive by the time the ship was finished. The ship made its debut in the season 6 episode, aptly titled Prometheus, where a bunch of rogue NID operatives tried to steal it. It was nice to be able to mix things up and do some ship-based shows after that, including stories like Grace, where Carter is stranded alone inside a nebula. But I have to admit, I was never a big fan. Prometheus was broken half the time, and it just looks like an office building turned on its side. All function, zero form. Now, as for the model from Master Replicas, well, it's kind of fitting that I didn't like this ship to begin with. The model suffers in a number of areas, and that's probably explainable by the fact that the company came in and picked up someone else's design files, probably had to find new vendors for manufacturing and recreate a whole process. So Prometheus ends up being a casualty of the handover. The design is fine, and I think it looks nice on my shelf. The real problems start when you pick this thing up. All the other models are a mix of plastic and die-cast metal, but I'm having a hard time finding where the metal parts would be here. It feels all plastic, so it's lacking the weight that makes the others feel so premium. The paint job is also lower quality, the grays don't match the other Earth ships, and the detail just isn't there. As you start to examine the model up close, you'll also see this line across the top, and also in the front, which shows where the two halves were glued together. This was visible when we got the first photos, and I had hoped it was just a prototype, but nope, there it is. The end result is that it looks and feels more like a plastic toy, not something you'd want to spend $45 on. Now, Master Replicas recognizes this one didn't come out well, and they tell me it was a victim of the collapse of Eaglemoss, so I'm willing to give them a mulligan and see what they can do next. But I don't recommend you go out looking for this ship unless you're a completionist. 1 out of 5 chevrons. So these are the 5 ships that we have on the shelf right now. There are 2 more that have been announced, and pre-orders have actually already come and gone as of the making of this video. Let's take a look at those next. Ship number 6 is the USS George Hammond. Once Earth got the design and the tech right for the BC-304 carrier, they started stamping them out left and right. So on the show, we saw several Daedalus-class ships. The next to get a model is actually the last one, the Hammond. It was commanded by Colonel Samantha Carter, making its screen debut in the premiere of Stargate Universe. This model is meant to look exactly like the Daedalus, but with the Hammond's name on the side, which is screen accurate. This one is an exclusive to members of Master Replica's paid Collectors Club. And don't worry, it's confirmed to be the only Stargate ship for 2024 that will be limited to paying members. They made 750 of them and pre-orders sold out. Now, if you're not in the Collectors Club, but you still want to expand your Earth fleet, the 7th ship of the line is the Odyssey. This was the second BC-304 to appear on the show, taking over in the defense of Earth and the support of SG teams in the Milky Way, spoiler alert, after Prometheus was destroyed. Once again, we expect the Odyssey to measure up to the high standards set by the Daedalus model, only with the name change on the side. For anyone who's counting, that still leaves the Korolev, the Apollo, and the Sun Tzu. although China's ship was never shown on screen. Master Replicas could even dig deep and give us the Phoenix, which is what the Hammond was called in an alternate timeline. Both the Hammond and the Odyssey are set to ship in June of 2024. Finally, what's coming up next for Master Replicas models? Well, the company has confirmed to Gateworld that the next ship coming after Odyssey is, wait for it, yeah, it's the Puddle Jumper. Us Atlantis fans have been waiting this for a very long time. It looks awesome, and we have a sneak preview to show you. This was the hero ship on Stargate Atlantis, introduced in the pilot episode and featured throughout the show's 5-year run. The Jumper, or Gate Ship if you prefer, was designed by the Ancients to fit through the Stargate. That means the team could use the many space gates throughout the Pegasus galaxy. The ships are also equipped with a cloak for stealth maneuvers and mini drone weapons for taking on the Wraith. The Puddle Jumper also turned up on Stargate SG-1. SG-1 found a ship on Mayborn's planet, this one equipped with a one-of-a-kind time drive. That set up the events of the Season 8 finale, Mobius. The Jumper model is now in the design stage and will be out later in 2024. Master Replicas sent us this sneak peek at the model's design, taken directly from the CAD files. Of course, the final model will get a paint job to make the colors screen accurate. You'll notice that this model has the drive pods fully extended, which I think looks awesome and shows the Jumper ready for combat. I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. Keep an eye on gateworld.net and we'll report when pre-orders are opening. Master Replicas says that if there's enough interest from fans, they would be up for making a second version of the Jumper down the road with the drive pods in the closed position. Now, all of this is a great start, but there are so many more ships from 17 seasons of Stargate that I want to see. Before Eaglemoss went out of business, they were planning for the Puddle Jumper, as well as Thor's Asgard mothership, the Beliskner, the Wraith Dart, Destiny, and possibly Destiny's Shuttle. You know what I want to see beyond that. I want to see an ancient warship. I want to see an Alkesh and a Goa'uld cargo ship. How about a Wraith Hive ship or this Replicator warship? Master Replicas tells me that they plan to pick up where Eaglemoss left off, so hopefully all these ships are coming just a little further down the line. It's also worth noting that their new license with MGM also includes replica props and figures. So hopefully there's lots more Stargate goodies that are going to fill the shelf here in the near future. Maybe even a little Stargate. So what model do you want to see Master Replicas produce? Are you trying to collect all of them, or is there just one or two that you have your eye on? Post it down in the comments below. If you've watched this far, then you're gonna love more Stargate videos from Gateworld. Subscribe to the channel to see what we have coming up, and ring the bell if you want to be alerted the moment a new video goes live. You can find the very latest Stargate news and conversations on our website, gateworld.net.